So I've been asked to do a little video about what it's like for a day on the river for me. So I've come down to West Amesbury to the Abbey section of the Salisbury and District Club, and I'm going to show you what my day's like. Hiya folks. Well, invariably my fishing trips all start with a trip in the car. So I'm going to get started up. I'm about 45 minutes to an hour away from the river depending on traffic. So let's get to it. Well, I've arrived at the Abbey fishery. I've just parked my car up outside the Abbey, funnily enough. As you can see, there's the Abbey there. Beautiful old building, getting a bit of work done to it at the minute. And I'm just about to get kitted up, so let's crack on with that. I've only ever visited this fishery once before, and it was in the winter for grayling, and this tree here wasn't down that time, so it'll be interesting to see if this new feature has garnered any fish. As you can see, there's a nice little flow coming in there. It looks excellent, so I'm going to stay quite well back. If there is anything there, I don't want to spook it, and I think I'm going to sit back a little and watch the river for a while. Well, I've been really careful with my approach to the river. I'm about, I don't know, maybe 20 feet back from the edge of the river, and I still managed to spook the brownie that was just in the margins there. So there are fish about, but they're very wary. The water's very clear, and I've not seen anything rising yet. Just that one fish that, as I said, I got about 20 feet for the edge and it bolted, so I think I'm going to have a cuppa. I've been sat down having a little brew here by the river, and I just thought I'd share some bits and bobs with my thought process. I've been a competition angler for about 30 years. The guy that introduced me to fly fishing was a comp angler, and subsequently I just kind of fell into the niche. And then when I got into river fishing, the guys that taught me how to river fish were comp anglers, so I kind of got into it. But I think I might have wasted my life, if that seems a bit strange to say. You know, the pleasure of just sitting by a river and watching the life erupt around you, really. You know, the fly hatches, the nature of the stream. It's just a joy, really, that I've been missing out on. Over the years I've come to just, you know, look at a river and think, what's the best approach? Where can I net the fish? You know, where will the fish be lying? Instead of just appreciating what's in front of me. So yeah, it's the thought for today, if you like. Well, onwards and upwards, as they say. That was my first stop of the morning. and it was interesting actually, because I was really careful with my approach and still blew it. I spooked a good fish from the margins, so I decided to stop, have a little brew and stuff, but I'm going to say bye bye to the broken tree for the moment and go and try my arm elsewhere. Still not seen anything rising yet along the river, but it's early doors, so let's see what happens. Well, feeling pretty blessed at the minute. The river's as clear as I've seen the Avon in a number of years, and it's a gorgeous day. I just hope that the fish start to rise soon. I've still not seen a fish rise. I see a few sitting moodily on the bottom, but unfortunately I can't get to them with a dry fly. But we'll see. Again, it's still pretty early in the morning. We'll see what the day brings. Just seen the first rise of the day. Patience has paid off, and there's a fish rising just up ahead of me, about 40 feet. So I'm going to ease my way up there very slowly on my hands and knees and see if I can catch it. Well, very frustrating. I've crawled up the side of the river on my hands and knees, and then just when I was about in position, Rambo turned up to just spoil my fun. So I'm going to wait him out. Sometimes when a swan's been through, he disturbs quite a lot at the bottom, so it might have released a few feed items and the fish might be more inclined to rise and take a dry fly. Let's see what happens. Well, my patience has been rewarded. Unfortunately, it's the wrong species, so I'll let you have a quick look. But it's good to see grayling in the water. It just shows the health of a river. So there she is. Let's see if we can't find a trout now. Well, I've been at this little stretch of water here for about half an hour now, and the trout are just not having it. I've had 3 grayling, but obviously that's not the name of the game today. But I don't really care. Look at it. It's absolutely stunning. I've not seen any other anglers. There's a few old folks coming down for the home, and they're keeping their distance, quite rightly so. But I'm going to persevere and just wait for a few trout to start rising. Well, a pretty slow start to the day. It is very bright, but still not very much rising, and the fish that are rising are grayling. So I've had 5 grayling now, and I've only had 1 trout refuse my fly, and it wasn't particularly big, a little wildy. But yeah, pretty tough. I'm not going to get too despondent just yet though. I dare say it's not even noon yet, so we'll see how we get on. Well, we're off the mark at last. Little brownie. Woo, that's a relief. Nothing like making a video and blanking, eh? Well, they're like buses now. You get nothing for ages. Gorgeous. I've just got to the end of the beat. I've never been up this far before because when I came up in the winter, the wading part was just too deep and I wasn't able to get up. But this is the end of the beat. But I just want to show you what's just at the end of the beat, and I don't know, maybe Salisbury and District could maybe see if they can get an extra 50 metres or so, because that looks absolutely lush. I think there'd be a lot of fish in the tail of that pool, in fact in that pool full stop, but it's not in bounds, so I'm going to head back down and try and find some risers. Well, that's my morning session over. It's 2 o'clock now. I'm going to go back to the car, get a bite to eat, drop off some of the kit I don't need. It's been a tough morning, only 2 brown trout, a hat full of grayling, mind, and I hooked a grayling. I've always said to people, oh, the grayling and the Avon are not that big, they don't grow big, but I had one today which would have been pushing £2. It was a cracking fish, but it didn't behave for the camera, as you obviously seen, but yeah, really pleased to have caught that here. But let's see what this afternoon brings. Okay, I've relocated to a different river. I'm on the River Nadder now in Wiltshire, and the reason I've come up here is my friends come and join me, Sean Doyle, and we're going to fish this out to hopefully the evening rise. Just let you have a quick look at it. As you can see, quite a streamy flow river, some nice runs coming in. Let's see how we get on, eh? Relocated to the Nadder, and just this is a wild fishery, so you're catching fish between sort of 3 and 4 inches, but I've just caught something a wee bit better than that. I'm just going to release it. Oh, buzzing after catching that little fish. It's cracking. They don't all have to be massive for them to be great. And this is the kind of pool I'm catching it from. But for the Nadder, in this section, that's a pretty decent fish. Well pleased. Well, that's the end of a day's fishing for me. I'm absolutely bushed. I've put a good 12 hours into today, and I'm ready for my bed. I'm sure when I go home my wife's going to have a lovely tea ready for me. So I'll be really looking forward to that. Thanks for watching. I came at this beat in January, and it was dirty and it was high, and the grayling were sparse, but loads of brownies. I think I had about 13 brown trout, and you know, in January. And typically I come to fish for brown trout, and have a look at this. Oh dear.